Guys, it happened. I just recorded a 25-minute video, and the sound, I was on mute the entire time. I can't believe it. It happened. It was 25 minutes. It was a recap on the offseason for the Buccos, what we did. So I'm not going to cheat you guys out of it. We're going to go through it, but it's probably going to be a little bit faster pace than it was before. So, sorry. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? What are you going to do? Fight me? I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I can't go back in time. I'm going to have to play it by ear. So, maybe you'll find it funny. Hopefully not. I want to cry right now. Not really, but there's a lot of worse things in life than recording a video like that. I understand, but still doesn't mask the frustration. So, anyway, there was some genuine surprise in some of the last video because we were looking at stats and projections and preseason stuff for the first time. So we were finding stuff out together. But okay, doesn't matter anymore. So what we're gonna do is we are just gonna go through and do the exact same thing that we did before. So let's start with who won the World Series. Braves. Shocker. 4-2 against the Blue Jays. Didn't stand a chance. No one stood a chance. That offense is ridiculous. This year, hopefully Freeman stubs his toe, breaks a toenail, whatever. But Acuna, he has a baby and his baby keeps him up all night. I don't know. Something needs to happen in order for them to knock him out. Anyways, so they won. Whoop-de-doo. Figured you guys didn't care about that. So we went on to the offseason. So what did we do? Didn't make any big changes. We added some pieces, mostly on the pitching staff, which maybe I'm stupid to still have faith in my lineup, but I feel like we have a good lineup here, and we need to just continue to ride it out with them a little bit because they're still very young guys. But the pitching staff, with the goal, and I spoke about in the last video, I kind of want to move to a six guy rotation so that someone doesn't blow their arms out again at the end of the season like Archer and May did. Or maybe start off with a 5-man rotation and go to 6. I'm not sure. But I just want to maybe switch it up a little bit, so I want the flexibility. So went out and made some moves. So we will go to the transaction and transaction log and look at all the stuff here. So we're going to go to January. A couple things we did in January. First, we signed right-handed relief pitcher Oliver Drake. So he's been with the Twins for a couple years, and then the Rays for some years before that. Extremely hard worker, fits the profile type. 2 years at $4 million. That's not bad at all. If you look at the ratings too, the reason I signed him can be kind of a Swiss Army knife. Go against lefties or righties. He's obviously a little bit better against lefties, but you're still average or above against righties too, which means he can come in a lot of different situations. So that's the first move there. Second move was Matthew Boyd in regard to how can we, a 1-year deal worth about $3.5 million, how can we have some extra arms? You can never have too much pitching, ever. So how do we bring someone in who can provide innings? You look at them, 160, 140, 190, 180, 170. To get 1 year of that for $3.5 million. And get a lefty, for about 150, 60, 70 innings. I'll take that. That's pretty good. So again, just looking for quality bats there. But the big ticket item that we bought, that we signed, Josh Hader, 3-year, $23 million contract. I think this is our time. And, you've heard me talk about it before. Don't go after relievers unless you're sure you can compete, but am I sure that we can compete? No. Do I feel confident in our team, and do I owe it to you? Do I owe it to myself who's spending time playing this game the opportunity to compete for a World Series? Abso-freaking-lutely. So he had a bad year last year in Milwaukee. Probably led to him not getting signed. I don't care. He's a beast. The guy can whip it. If you look at his ratings, again, elite stuff, obviously. But lefties, righties, you're still getting average or, above average quality for that. So I'll take a ride on him. That's a pretty good deal there. There's a couple. Chapman was available that we could have afforded, but he just doesn't fit with the culture of the team. So I didn't sign him, and to me that's a big deal. So what else did we do? So on the hitting side, we went and we signed Whit Merrifield to a 1-year, $4.2 million contract. Why? Very versatile. We're going to have him playing second base, but his best positions are in the outfield. Take over for Kevin Newman. Again, good personality type with the team, hard worker, good base runner. The guy can flat out hit and get on base. So I'm a big fan of that, and that's pretty much all we did from a hitting perspective. So I did look at some stats in the last video. Not going to do that, but I will touch on something that we looked at last video in the preseason predictions. So earlier they had us lined up to, so they changed this throughout the offseason. That we were supposed to win 90 games. Now we're scheduled to win 88 games. So again, look, Juggernaut Braves, 109 wins. Juggernaut Dodgers, 104 wins. And then the lowly little Pirates, 88 wins. One of the things they did have, though, is they had, and it changed, obviously, so this updates throughout the preseason. They had Brendan McKay as the number one projected top pitcher this year, which I thought was awesome. We didn't have anyone from a top hitter perspective. Not really surprised there. But yeah, they again have everyone in the AL East over 500. Last time they didn't have a projected 100 loss team, but it looks like they do with the Rangers. And then the Giants just missed that mark there. So projected to score they projected us to score about 680 some runs last time. So they're projecting us a little bit more toward league average. A little bit fewer stolen bases, more home runs. They had us only projected 170 earlier, and then runs against about 40 more. So they expect us to be middle of the road in pretty much everything at that point. So we also made a couple changes to our personnel. We hired a new hitting coach that has developed hitters in the past, and we also have a new bench coach as well who I believe retired. So, an assistant GM, we got rid of Ben Charrington, and we hired Mike Elias. So we'll see how that goes. And then player development, we have the number one farm system in the MLB again. And we've added, we have 6 top 100, almost 7 top 100 prospects. And these are truly prospects. These aren't guys in the major league who are gonna lose. Their eligibility. De La Garza is probably going to come up at some point. But, again, this makes me feel better about where we're at because we're going to get Archer back. We're going to get De La Garza is going to get called up at some point. 3 top 10 prospects, that's wild. So, we're going to be able to solve some of that pitching woes. So, if you look at the bullpen, we have Dustin May, who I made our ace because I believe he deserves it. We have Brendan McKay. Mitch Keller, Brady Singer, Tony Gonsolin, Matthew Boyd. A 6-man rotation, I will take that. To me, that's a above average rotation. There's a lot of arms there. May can be a 1. I think May can be a 2. McKay could be a 2 or a 1. Keller could be a 2. So you have, and then everyone else could be like a 3. So you have it's a rotation made up. You could say it's a rotation made up of 2s and 3s, which is that better than a 1 through? I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. We'll see. Hader being at the back of the bullpen is going to be huge. It's going to help Cinderland move up a little bit more of the setup role, which I think might suit him a little bit better. But middle relief, I think here could be a potential problem. Low stamina here for Wyman, low stamina here for Crick, decent stamina for Waddell, but he's the worst of the bunch. So I think our starters are going to be very good. I think the back end of the bullpen is going to be very good. But I'm worried about this middle relief area here. Stratton has provided adequate middle relief in the years past. Brett Honeywell, hopefully he can, again, just be consistent. He's worth about a 1 win a WAR last year in total. But then again, you have to remember we have, at some point bring up De La Garza, which means that Gonsolin goes back in the bullpen, or Boyd goes back into the bullpen. And that means that, we get Archer. Maybe he's slotted into the bullpen. So I feel like we're going to improve improve our middle relief just by the people we have already in our system. So if you look at the lineup too, we're going to start off with Cole Tucker, Brian Reynolds, Tristan Gray, Kyle Lewis, Carter Kieboom, Kendall Amaya, and then Whit Merrifield. You look at this, and the potential problem is obvious. It's going to be power again. Tucker provided okay power, not really that great. Brian Reynolds, 28 home runs. Is he going to hit 28 home runs this year? Probably not. Probably going to be less than that. Probably closer to 23, 24 maybe. Tristan Gray, I think he's going to improve here. I don't think he hits just 3 home runs. I think you probably see that number up to 20, 22-ish, hopefully. Kieboom, 17 home. You're slotting for your 15 to 20 with him. Kendall, he took a step back last year. His pace in 2021, 17 home runs and 69 at bats. Nice. That was pretty unsustainable. So he took a step back there, kind of regressed to the mean. Amaya, decent power as a catcher. Merrifield, you're not going to look for too much power there. But the wild card is Kyle Lewis. If he shows up and hits well, this lineup can go from maybe average-ish to definitely average, if that makes sense. Look, he finished last year with 195 strikeouts. Make that 150 strikeouts. Make that 150 strikeouts. Add in 30 singles. Add in 5 more home runs, and add in 5 more doubles, or whatever. You'd have a completely different player. You have an all-star caliber player. He still gave the Buccos 1.7 in WAR. He was still a 4% better player better hitter than the average batter last year. So he struck out 195 times, and he was still better than average. So there is still potential that has not been unlocked in him. So I'm not giving up. But then if you look at our bench coming in, we have Jason Martin. I sent Swaggerty down at the beginning of the year. We have Kevin Newman, who I think will be good off the bench. He's the defensive sub. We have Bohm, Barnes, and then McKay. So, I think that we have a pretty decent roster. I think that this is a 90-win team. And if you go to meet the team here, like I said in the other video that got cut off or record over, but, when I said last year is we had to have the top, you have to have the top third or top 10 players at positions in order to win 90 games, 100 games, in order to compete for a World Series. So we have top 5 players at 5 positions: closer, left field, first base, and catcher. We have a top third-ish players, center field, right field, starting pitcher. Then, you're always in Cole Tucker-ish could move up in there. Then your bottom half is Hayes, Merrifield, and a relief pitcher. So, if there's a weak spot, maybe relief pitcher, you'd want it in that middle relief. Second base, third base. Third base is a trouble area. We really do need to probably upgrade there. But second base, okay. Maybe if Juan Jerez, our number 1 ranked prospect, rakes at AAA, starting the year at AAA. If he rakes, bring him up. Let's let him play. Second base. Let's move that needle. Let's start competing for a World Series. So that was the game plan. We won the division in the Grapefruit League, which I'm sure everyone really cared about. We won it by a game, I think. We're going to come back. We're going to start the game. We're going to start the season against the Cardinals, the worst team in baseball. Not actually worst team, but my least favorite team in baseball. And hopefully we beat the snot out of them. So I know we're in the 2023 season. I mean, this is going crazy fast. If you guys want me to slow down or spend more time on certain things or whatever, please just let me know. I'm more than happy to. But right now, I'm just kind of going at my pace, and I hope you all kind of enjoy it too. So maybe I should slow down and spend a little bit more time on stuff. But whatever, we'll figure it out. We're all in this together, which I heard 1,000 times watching the NFL draft. But anyways, I will